Hello and welcome back to Talam 101. This time we're going to cover Air Raid. That's right, this round-ending string and non-low parryable string. Or, well, the last hit cannot be low parried for as long as the first two hits get blocked or they connect versus the opponent, which will always leave them in this +1 paradox or +1 mix-up, right, of RFS F4 or Flying Eagle. So you can do up 4 in left foot forward or right foot forward. So you can do it in 3 places as well, while standing is included. Of course, if you want to include left foot forward and while standing as 1, then it's 2 places. So 2.5, 2.5 places, right? So frame data, it comes out at 22 frames. If the first hit connects, it's +4. +4 into right flamingo if you hold the direction, and then right foot forward if you don't hold the direction. If this move gets blocked, it is -2 on block. Nothing happens on counter hit, nothing guaranteed. It's just +4, even if you move this forward. So Hwoarang doesn't get anything. He can't use his heat bonuses here to get a right parabellum kick launch on counter hit. Moving on to the second part of the string of Air Raid, up 4-4. Also still comes out at 22. Well, it starts from 22, the second kick comes out at 11. Now this one is +6. So more uses for this, as it is +6 in right foot forward. That's a great place to be in. It's very similar to RFF back 2, just minus the force crouch. If this move gets blocked, it's 0 on block, and that's 0 on block to, again, right foot forward or RFS, but it's perfect for RFS, mostly because, again, 8 frame high, your opponent has to respect that. And of course, there's nothing on counter hit if the second kick just connects by itself. +6 again. For the last hit, up 4-4-4, the full string Air Raid, as you know, it's a +1 on block, and if the last hit connects, that is +7 to either right flamingo or right foot forward. And just like the first 2 hits, there's nothing on counter hit. So as I mentioned earlier, this move cannot get low parried. The only time it can get low parried is if the move whiffs. So if you threw this out in Okizeme and placed it poorly, then your opponent can take it. But if you didn't, then even if they hold down forward right afterwards, then they're just putting themselves in a really, really bad spot, because now you can just throw out your axe kick, you can throw out Flying Eagle, you can throw out RFS1, or even RFS4 for mid options. So it's always best for them to block this. It's kind of an exception to the rule, as most strings you'd be allowed to low parry. So Hwoarang here cannot get low parry here, and that's what makes it perfect round ending material, because if your opponent has low HP and they see this and they're thinking about the standard rule, then they're like, oh, I can low parry that, and then they'll get hit. If they have low HP, they're dead, and if not, that's gonna put them in a bad spot frame-wise. And even if they do block it, it's still a 50-50 situation on, like, okay, are you gonna press this? Are you gonna press that? So they could either get knocked down by Flying Eagle, they could get hit or block RFS F4, or what happens to you is that you get jab floated as you do it. Or, since it's only +1, right, your opponent can simply just step the options. We're gonna have Hwoarang here block the last hit, and the only thing that will keep them in place is RFS F4 or RFS forward 3 for the most part. You can rely on RFS down 3 from time to time. Generally, you're sticking with RFS F4 and your homing move. As you can see, most of your options would be whiffing here. So you have to take care when trying to do this, or else, you know, they could get your back. So that's like a short preview of like the moves after the last hit gets blocked. If you're trying to use Air Raid right after a situation, regardless of your frames, just know that this move is very, very linear. You see that? The first hit hits and then the other 2 hits don't connect. If I change that to +1, that hits in that scenario, but I wouldn't really rely on it tracking towards SSL. This is again because Hwoarang has a below average sidestep. Against characters who's with average or stronger sidesteps, it's going to whiff completely. If we change this to sidestep right, jab on block, that's a complete whiff. LFS1. So you could get the hit and be like, ha, I hit them. And then, you know, the cameraman said no, and then they get a punish even if you did hit them. No matter what frames you're sitting at, be very, very careful on when to use this. So just like up 4, this is your layer 5 to layer 6 or 5th to 6th option in your mix-up, because other, you know, your first options in whether that be a jab or LFS1, those will be covering these options, including backdash, and then your additional options like up 4 after that for the mind games. And then that's the only time you could really be using up forward 444. Now it does have some combo potential. So if you wanted to do a combo with it, I mean, you totally could. But just know that your combo damage isn't going to be really high. It has to be a high launch, not a low launch. You can use it everywhere in between because it does go into right flamingo, so it makes it easy to connect a lot of the dots as filler and even as a wall ender. But that's really if you just wanted another combo option. So that's everything I know about it. Again, I've been Frontier, and thank you for watching.